What's going on, folks? Welcome to Fire Theft Radio. What's up, Mav? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing a little live on a Saturday morning. Not too bad, you know.
Right? I mean, we're actually going live here on Instagram and what's the other one?
We're on Rumble,
Well, it
actually.
says we're having trouble streaming to your destination for the Rumble one.
Oh, so not Rumble,
So not
but
Rumble,
on
but
on
well,
YouTube.
yeah. Well, the first thing that we're trying to do is, get people, make sure that they do go to Rumble because we want to say a lot of things that we're not allowed to say on the other channels. So we just rather you just go over there, check us out, because I think it's going to get spicy. You know what I'm saying? But for now, we're doing the YouTube Fire Theft Radio, and we are doing Instagram. And it looks like it's working. Maybe. I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm over
Oh,
on
it is.
here. Yeah,
Oh, oh. Oops. Oh, it is. See, you can hear that double feed. Did you hear it?
I didn't, but I believe you.
Okay, so it's working. It's over there on the other ones. Unless I'm streaming to my personal Fire Theft Radio, which is fine. We'll figure it out. they the other Instagram page. I don't know. This is our first time really kind of doing this, but we want to do a Reel-Tok, but on here. So if you don't know what that is, well, this is what it is. We're talking about reels and TikToks, how influential they are. Some of these are going to be articles, but these articles turn into videos sometimes. So we just kind of want to get ahead of it and talk about certain things, certain trends that we're experiencing in election year. We're but less than a month away. Here we go, folks. You know what? It hasn't been as crazy as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I
But
had high hopes for some insanity, and it's just kind of maybe ramped up slightly. I don't know.
yeah, well, we just had a little bit of devastation, but I was maybe hoping some UFO encounters or whatever. Oh, look at my green screen. See? Live.
Uh,
See, I just bought this. Well, actually, I've had it for years and I've never used it. So there you go. It's literally just leaning on me. So it's going to be hilarious little takes that we got. But all right. That being said, let's go ahead and start the show. Here we go.
let's do it.
All right. Here we are. So, if you don't know what Reel-Toks are basically us going through the interwebs, anything that is reels or TikToks or set up in that sort of format that we find those things to be incredibly influential. A lot of comments, both for and against said reels and TikToks. So, thus Reel-Toks. And we think we need to sort through some of them, give them maybe a better biblical perspective. And we've been doing quite a bit of research on the fringy stuff, not so fringe no more, biblical research, and we think we can provide maybe a little bit of insight and just some warnings on the things that you're watching. These little small bits of information that can be very actually helpful or destructive. So that being said, we chose some of those, and let's just get right into it, Mav. Unless you got something to say.
Yeah, no, I think it's really important because those little tic-tac sized
Mhm.
ideas, they slip in. They get into the back of your mind, they get into the back of your heart, and they start to work their way through. So it's really important to be watching these things. So that's what we're trying to do here. So,
Are you seeing any comments coming on your end?
no,
I don't see any comments. I don't know if people have joined, not joined. I'm wondering if the Instagram is working properly because
I don't
usually
see
there's
it on there.
usually there's always something, but I don't see nothing.
You may have to do something in Instagram to actually like initiate it.
Okay, well, we're going. So cool. Oh, leaving
Oh,
Babylon. I'm here. Okay,
left
perfect.
Babylon and came to Fire Theft Radio. That's great.
There you go. There you go. So that's from YouTube. So it's telling me it's from YouTube. If
Yeah,
anyone is
YouTube's working.
watching from Instagram, let us know what's going on. So, um, cool. So check this out. This one's supposedly an American credit hacks page where it's just promoting uh debt relief from these programs that you're not aware of, and we're making you aware of here on this random Instagram ad. Um, and just check it out for the people that are listening to the audio only later, because this is live happening Saturday morning, October 19th. But you might listen to this a couple days later. This might not make a lot of sense. So you might want to be um subscribing to that Rumble, Fire Theft Radio, and or YouTube, so you can check this out, and it'll make more
Yeah.
sense for you. You know.
Yeah, well, the visuals are sometimes really important because it's an instant setup. You look at this, and it actually looks pretty official. They're even using the green sort of check mark emojis, which is, I mean, that's, I don't know how else you could get any more official
Mhm.
using those. So it just looks nice and framed. Yeah, looks legit.
So before we get into the video, I'm just going to read what it says in the post right on the top. It says debt forgiveness now available for Americans that can't keep up with high interest payments on their credit card bills and are seeking a path to becoming debt free. Well, that sounds like a good idea, right?
Yeah, debt free is the way to be.
So play the video.
Let's play.
Watch this before you scroll.
Paying your credit card debt is a waste of money right now. The system is rigged. So let me ask you, is it only legal for the rich to use loopholes? So then play how the rich play by accessing programs that can basically wipe out debt and personal loans. Click the link to get started. You won't regret it.
Please watch.
We won't regret it.
So let it play again.
Yeah, audio too.
Paying your credit card debt is a waste of money right now.
Stop it.
The
It's kinda
system
hard.
is
You can't
rigged.
read it. So if you didn't catch it and you're not watching the video, they use Candace Owens' voice in the beginning saying, please watch this. You're going to want to see this. And then the video is her watching someone announce this debt forgiveness program. And she's kind of like nodding in agreement, like, yes, yes.
You can tell she's active listening, you
Mhm.
know? Yeah.
And if you don't know, she does that on her show, and they promote certain products, and she's listening, and she'll agree or disagree with whatever's, and they're showing her, and it's like a live react of such thing, like kind of like what we're doing right now. But what it is it's an AI clone voice, and it's not even her really watching this video. It's her really, but they put different products in front of her, and since she's a reputable person, they make you believe that she's backing this thing so that you can participate in this debt forgiveness program, which is just some random, I'm sure, some random uh, uh, kind of company that wants to take advantage of her popularity of the situation. And a lot of these companies are doing that, where they're cloning voices with AI technology, and then they're just going forward and promoting their products and making it seem like such reputable person is also agreeing with their product.
Yeah, and it's kind of a brilliant way to do it from just a, trying to get clicks kind of thing. Because you not only get the people who are looking for Candace Owen content, right? They're flipping through, they see Candace Owen, they think it's one of the segments on her show. Because in the beginning, it's not her. That's all blurred. It's just her voice saying, giving the intro, and then it goes in. She's just there nodding, So you get the people who are engaged with Candace Owen and her content, that stuff. But then you also get the negative reactions. You get people who are going to react negatively, and they just gotta say something because it's the internet. And so you either get people who believe it or people who believe it and hate it. Hate your choice. So you get both sides of that. You get sort of outrage posts at the same time, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah. So you want to read
If you're in
some
the
of these
chat,
comments?
have you
Yeah.
seen any of these?
The comments?
If
Yeah.
you're watching it, even if you're watching the replay, throw in the comments. Like, have you seen one of these before? And were you duped? Or maybe now you say, oh, shoot, I don't even know if that was real now.
And yeah, let us know, because I know there was a health product I saw that I thought was kind of real, and it was getting promoted by quote unquote Joe Rogan. But then as I saw, they made the mistake of showing a lot of the video, him talking, and it just didn't sync up at all, the voice with him, and it was just him pretending like it was him, but it was about something else, and they were promoting some sort of health product. And so then I was like, that's an AI thing. And then you can kind of hear, you know, the difference right now. Who knows in the future, right? If you will be able to even hear the difference of a cloned voice. But right now you can kind of tell where I don't know, it just sounds a bit off, a little bit mechanical. It sounds decent, but it's not great. I don't know if I told you, but my stepson, he took a piece of the audio, especially if you're a podcaster, you're kind of screwed, you know. He took a piece of the audio of this show, and then he ran it through a free website, and he made it say some absurd things that I supposedly like. He was being very like raunchy and gross and everything. Um, and it was me saying them, right? It was my voice, but it wasn't me. It was just the clone voice, but it sounds pretty good. It sounds like me. And that's kind of like the dangers that we're in. But you want to read some of these comments on here, and it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
funny. And this is what I'm kind of saying, because read the first one and I'll read that second one.
Yeah. So the first response is from RSP 1450 TEE. It says possibly exclamation point, which is a very weird exclamation, by the way, to exclaim possibly. Anyway, the real answer is good education, good job, great rewards. Try it. It works that way. Exclamation point.
uh, and,
Keep
and
forgetting bot wars here.
yeah, well, here's another. Well, in what world? Someone
like,
responded.
in what world?
In what world?
Don't respond to the bot. You're just encouraging him.
So this next one I'll read. It says, "Look at that!" Exclamation mark. Candace Owens having yet another opinion, judgment on everyone. Sick emoji. Started out liking her, but good gravy. She's holier than thou. Okay. Now, here's the interesting part. Those first two comments are already assuming this is a real ad. And that's my point. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. I don't agree with the first comment, good education, good job, great rewards. Not really. Depends on what your education is in, because most of the education system is working on making slave class citizens and not, you know, you in any sort of way making money. So that's not really the case. So that's why I agree with in what world. It really just depends. It's nuanced, right? But then her over here, she's hating Candace even more over a fake ad that she very likely had nothing to do with, you know? So there's a deeply psychological thing happening here. And all it's driven by the lies of the internet. Oh, lo and behold, the internet is lying. You want to read another one?
Yeah. Going below here to a new one, it says, make it real simple. Don't spend money you don't have, especially if you can't pay it back. Long story short, pay your debt. You spent the money. So this is engaging directly with the content. So we can't really tell if they came in because of one thing or another. But the one thing I wanted to kind of highlight with this is the post that you read was a day old. This one that I just read was a week old. This was posted 11 weeks ago. And so they continue to just cycle around. You would think that this would have been caught or pushed or suppressed or something, but no, it's continuing to cycle around. I don't know when it dropped in your feed, but it's kind of crazy that these things kind of
stop
go
right
away
there.
and come back. Yeah.
See right here, someone caught it. It says Stepkind 1228 to Crystal Bright. I think you missed the message, and you can't trust all the advertisements to be on the up and up. Pretty sure they didn't ask her for permission to even use her picture. There you go. See, some people can catch on and you can just kind of tell, but so many, I don't know, even like hatred and so many other things are pushed with these posts, and you have no idea, man. People can just take stuff. Oh, go to my page, actually. Go to Fire Theft Radio. We got 2 people watching right now on YouTube. Go to Fire Theft Radio Instagram, and there's there's a post. Let me see. Just check out how much hate I got for not tagging a person.
Oh, we want to get into that. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be lovely.
This might be promoting like bombing your page. There we are.
All right, that go down. See, it's not showing
the
up
reels
live. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, yeah. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
This one?
No, the 194,000 views. Right next to it.
Oh, that
Next
one.
to the yes. So just go to the comments. So I posted this thing. It says, when bro does something that lets you know he wouldn't have your back in a combat scenario. And it's just a video of a guy being a little bit effeminate. When the pizza arrives, he kind of claps his hands and he's very effeminate. And then his other friend looks at him, he's in disappointment, saying like, oh man, this guy he wouldn't be able to help me in a fight, right? And I screen recorded this and reposted it because it has to do with all of our Byron Rogers content that we've posted over the years, and Stephen Prowse content talking about masculinity and different things. And it's just like an ongoing thing if you know our content. So it was kind of directed towards people that already know our content. I did not share the guy's name because most of the guy's name who made this content he's very vulgar and gross, and he says a lot of bad words and very sexual and all that. So I'm not gonna promote a page because I mean we're a Christian podcast, so we're not promoting that. I don't agree with a lot of his stuff, even though some of it's really funny. So that being said, I recorded it and I kind of just posted the parts that I liked, and then that's it. And so you want to go to the comments here?
Yeah, let's look at this. So just so you know, this is all that you said in here. It says, you know the vibes. I'm not saying I'm an alpha, but there's a lot of dudes that are drinking the same stuff, making the frogs gay. So that's what you posted. And I only say it because I think what happens is people see that, then they read the comment, and then there's a reaction because they think you're taking something out of context, or at least you didn't do it. So I just wanted to read the comment first, but first one, I love it. Brandspin said, that's hilarious. So that's good. You got some good ones here. But it's really this one. Montysaurus or Monty.saurus says, straight up stealing content with no credit. That's his voice.
Yep.
And 20 replies.
Yeah, go ahead. Look at the replies. Yeah.
Someone just says, cry.
Someone's
cry about it.
Look at this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usman,
so
yeah, that one.
Yeah. Usman Mumtaz says, just report it for stealing content, bro. Clear the guy lacks ethics. Which I don't think you can report it for stealing content. You didn't really steal it, did you? You just reposted it. But
someone agreed with him and says, yeah, delete this posting, other content for likes. Delete your account too as well.
No, delete you account as well.
Yeah.
With 3 L's.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, they're hating me for this one. And then it says, you cut out the best part and didn't even mention the creators. Go ahead, open that one up, the replies. And it says,
there's probably more here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Who is this? Who is this?
Keep going. Where's that? Damn, the creator didn't even give a like to this credit, my dude. So people are just telling him like, hey, the creator doesn't care that it was stolen, because a lot of people tagged the actual original creator and he didn't give him the light of day at all. Let me see. Definitely stole this, but not gonna lie, always thought it was better without the ending.
There you go.
So there you go. So he liked my edit. There you go.
This is the fire theft edit. You're like a DJ. You just sampled it.
Yeah, dude. I'm just sampling, bro. And so keep going. I want to go to one guy specifically. I'm looking for his name. I don't see it.
It might be in this one. There's more on this. Here, let's open that all the way up.
It says, I was agreeing with everyone else till you said that. Okay, I said, because everyone was accusing me of stealing this, and I said, I didn't steal it. I discovered it.
Yeah.
I said, Christopher Columbus of memes.
This was so funny, though. I don't know if this is an Instagram thing, but if you go over to X, to Twitter, people are stealing memes all over the place. They just repost it. It's like
the thing to do. I'm not sure why this
people even post it and say, steal my meme.
Look, I found it. You're right. It's right here, right under the last one right there. God Emperor Omar told me, reported for pornography and terrorism. Enjoy the ban. Like that would even work. Like he's just trying to rile me up. And since he called himself God Emperor, I put a little bowing emoji and I said, yes, God Emperor. Yeah, it's unnecessary. And it goes on. And I still got some yesterday, the day before yesterday. Instagram probably legally owns it anyways. Exactly. Leaving Babylon agrees. And then yeah, so there's all this like nonsense, and there's all this hate towards my page. Someone was saying that, oh, you're just trying to make your page grow with someone else's content. I have no idea that I had no idea that that thing was going to get so much
Yeah,
traction. I
yeah.
seriously did not, and never have I ever used someone else's content to push my page, because I just thought it's funny and I post whatever I want. Sometimes it's related to the show, sometimes it's related to my day. Sometimes you'll see me just ranting on the page. Those are my posts, because that's what Instagram is to me. It's just a posting platform. I don't take it serious. I'm not trying to make money off of it or anything. That's not what this show's about. So it doesn't even matter. You want to go through something else?
So there's
Yeah.
yeah, Adam Eggers was on here and posted something. He has a you responded to him here. It's gone though, and I think it was the one where he's like, it's illegal or something. It's like it's
Oh yeah,
illegal to
yeah.
steal someone. It was like what? And I just put a
Yeah.
laughing emoji at him to be like, "Are you
Oh, that's
serious?
right. That's right. I did see that one where it's like, hey, this is technically illegal
This is
or whatever.
technically illegal, and we could you could go to jail for this."
Yeah, it's
So
like
he
a
was
whole thing.
serious.
Hmm. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, dude, who are these people that follow this guy? It's kind of ridiculous. And I think
Yeah.
they kind of prove my point. They're the ones that drinking the stuff that makes the guys gay. You know what I mean? The frogs
And
gay.
so just to kind of expand on that, I mean, we say it as a joke, so that itself is
Mhm.
making fun of another meme. Which, by the way, if you think this is ridiculous, go ahead and hit like on the YouTubes, just
Yeah.
so we can start to build that up a little bit there. But the thing is that what's really being said. So when you say turn the frogs gay, okay, we laugh at Alex Jones, but there is something with the endocrine system. There's something with hormonal balance, one way or
Mhm.
the other, where there legitimately is an effect on someone's brain, like how
Mhm.
clearly they think, how susceptible they are to suggestion. A bunch of different things happen when your hormones are out of whack. So we say it as a joke. And you said it as a way to reference the Alex Jones mention of it, which is more than viral. There's t-shirts and everything else
Mhm.
about turning the frogs gay. But the point is that these things are for real. Like hormonal
Mm.
imbalances really do whack people out as
Yep.
far as in their mind, how they feel, how they respond to things. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of medical studies now where frogs indeed are turning gay or even changing sex with all the different chemicals that are in the water, and they're actually evolving into women. And well, we've talked about this in the other episodes where men now in their 30s and 40s average less testosterone than men in their 60s in the early 1900s. And that's all related to the food that we're eating, the Kellogg's breakfast cereal, what's going on with all that stuff. But it's just not good for your body. So
Which
again,
was
all
developed to impede libido.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
was the point.
Oh, right, during the war, right?
It was done. Yeah, it was done in order because they thought that was what was leading to a bunch of different societal issues. And yeah, I
Mhm,
think leaving Babylon, I think you're right. I think does have something to do with the depopulation
mhm.
sort of agenda.
Absolutely,
I said a
absolutely.
gender
So
like I'm
gender,
Australian.
gender.
Agenda.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
gender.
oh
Yeah.
no. Okay. Anyways, so let's go to the next one. But again, that is kind of the world you're stepping into every time you go into reels and TikToks. It's usually this situation. Ooh, it's a good thing this thing is recording directly. I forgot to press record on my machine over here,
Oh
but
shoot.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's recording
Grab it.
right onto the thing. We'll just use this thing.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. This I thought was really cool, and we're gonna have to read, and only the people on the video can
Yeah.
appreciate this. We got two, it looks like a male and a female. That's right. There's only two genders uh, on a VR set, and it says the page is Inside History. It says the first communication between two humans in dreams has been achieved.
Been
You,
achieved.
yeah. Do you want to read that kind of intro right there?
Yeah, I'll read the intro. And it's not Amazon knowing that you're dreaming about, a jet ski and then advertising. You know that's coming next, but here's what it says here. In a development that sounds straight out of science fiction, researchers at REM Space have achieved a historic milestone demonstrating that lucid dreams could unlock new dimensions of communication and humanity's potential. I'm going to add the editorial here that there's a parentheses that states very clearly advertising, but I'll move on. REM space is a neurotechnology. Yeah, neurotechnology company specializing in sleep enhancements and lucid dreaming. Using specially designed equipment, REM space claims that 2 individuals successfully induced lucid dreams and exchanged a simple message with each other. Do they even talk about what it is? It says this milestone is validated.
You have to swipe.
Yeah, see, they make you swipe. This milestone, if validated, could mark a turning point in dream research, with REM space suggesting applications from mental health therapies to skill training. And again, I put into parentheses advertisement.
Mm-hmm. And I guess this original post was from Michael_Raduga. You want to do the swipe and see?
Yeah, it's from 4 days ago. So just so you know, this is not like an old thing. Ooh. REM space, a Silicon Valley startup.
Put the audio on.
Oh my goodness! Look, I didn't do that. Here, let me swipe again. My mistake. I didn't know there was any audio. It's just showing kind of what they do for the testing. For those of you who aren't able to see, it shows they're wearing some sort of a belt pack.
You're going to sleep.
You're going to sleep
to a machine. So very much like Inception.
Yes. Now this is probably
there's a message
graphically displaying this. That they're sending a message.
In their sleep, they receive like an email.
Yeah.
Where the person receives it. They're lucid dreaming. And he opens it. What does it say?
This is the most boring lucid dream.
Yeah, it's super, super boring. Go to the next one. There's one more.
Yeah, there's 2 people standing there.
Okay, they open the
envelope goes in there. They're hearing it. It shows them hearing a thing in headphones while they're asleep. And then it's them receiving it.
Does it say?
That's interesting. I wonder if it is using auditory receptors, not being brain to brain. Okay. Did you notice that though?
Yeah.
It graphically showed the auditory response, not
REM space.
REMspace.net.
That looks like a yin and yang symbol almost. So
yeah, it does.
Turn off that sound.
Yeah.
But basically, they show 2 people animated sleeping, and they're sending information from this. It looks like what are they called? Those heart monitors, the Holter monitors. It looks like one of those, but on I don't know, kind of the abdominal area.
It looks like what Darth Vader would wear.
Yeah, right around his stomach.
Yeah.
Leaving Babylon says that isn't sinister at all. But I mean, let's go back to the most basic question. If this is what's public already, what do they have available for in a military, aspect, or in the what are the alphabet soup agencies have available already? I would say it's very likely much like the movie Inception, where they're using some sort of machine or some sort of technology in which they can implant ideas in your head while you're sleeping. I mean, there is this sort of technology, especially since they can tap into now the Wi-Fi technology, where our body is receptive to that sort of technology. And I don't think it's a coincidence that all of our foods have high levels of metals, and we are basically walking liquid metal, walking around and all that good stuff. I think that's on purpose, because they need that kind of foundation in order to receive more information, your body to receive more information. It is said that the injection that everyone got for the whole thing, we're on YouTube, so I don't want to say it, but is part of that whole thing. It's an operating system to be able to receive and send messages. What are you thinking here, Mav, when you see stuff like this?
I'm thinking we're missing some bits of information here. I think this is because like you said, if this is what they're telling you that they can do, they only release technology after a lot of the actual development has been done in the background, and there's already military, the military applications have already been explored. So whatever this has to be old technology. I'm still wondering about this way that they're presenting this. So one thing we didn't read was the text on this slide, which on the top says the experiment used advanced brainwave sensors to track the dream communication process. Now, so the brain trackers are used to track the communication process. Part of what the subtext is that they're trying to at least make it sound like brains are communicating. That's not what they're saying. They're saying there is a dream communication that's happening, and they're monitoring the communication process in the brain. So it says participants successfully sent and received a word using REM Space's custom dream language, Remyo. But we don't know what that means. Does that mean that a person was trying to do this? Or does it mean that Remyo is a way to decipher what's going on? Do you see what I mean? Because they just communicated one word back and forth. That right there, that image looks like it's an auditory thing. And of course, this is not actual footage. This is an animation, but what they want to show and present. It's not always what they're telling you, or I should say, part of the deception is they'll tell you they're doing a thing, but you have to look at the subtext. What does that actually mean? What are they actually saying here?
What they could be doing is they're monitoring what happens, and they're coming to certain conclusions, and maybe some sort of AI thing compiles the information and then sends an auditory thing to the other person saying, oh, based on these signals or these readings, we think this person is saying this or whatever. And then it sends that to the other person and they can hear it. But it's probably not even really a communication between dream and dream. It's more like a communication of the possibility of what we think these signals could mean.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the comments here kind of highlights one of the problems with a post like this. So if you look down here, Warren Davies, 1976, it quotes and says, "This milestone, if validated," and then they state translation, "we make this stuff up." It's like, yeah, we don't know. It says if validated. They haven't even validated that this really happened. They haven't been able to show that it happened. So what it sounds like is they have their little machine that's using its coded language, and they're saying communication happened. Where I know that it's a study, whatever, but where are the people saying, yeah, I communicated this thing, and this other person saying, I heard that thing? Like, this would be pretty easy to verify if you ask me. But
this is how you get funding, bro.
Bingo! You nailed it. I wish I had a bell I could ring. That's what it is. That's what all of this stuff is. It's like, look what we could do, and whether they actually can or can't or whatever,
I have
it doesn't matter.
See, what do I have over here? No, I just have a harp. And then crickets.
Yeah,
for all the dry jokes that Maverick says. Nobody, it goes right over their head.
That's me. That's me. So yeah, there's something weird in this communication here.
Yeah, it's a little weird. And you want to read any of the comments, or you want to move on?
Yeah, let's look down a little bit. Want to skip? Someone says, it's why Shazley says, want to skip the stream? Pay for premium. Oh man, you have a separate dream block list.
Can't wait. Let me see what it says. What
can't wait for ranked mode.
Can't wait for ranked mode. I know. See, but here's the thing. That's the foundations of the possibilities of where this can go. People, it's already in their head. In a sense, Inception has happened. You get me? You know what I'm saying? Like, the gamification of life is normal business, because so many young people, millennials and younger, are playing so many video games that this is exactly the first thing that they think of, where Ready Player One is the reality of our future. And
Yeah.
you're just, everything can be like, it's hilarious. Like, oh yeah, pay for premium or all this stuff. They already see how this can become a business, joking around, but that is the reality of where things are going to go. I mean, think of any app that's streaming. They all have monetization, right? They all,
Yeah.
why can't I say that right now? What's going on?
Monetization.
Monetization. The Mexican in me is like, no, you
Yeah.
can't say that. You can't say that, bro. And so yeah, it's like, it's funny. It's just kind of, you see that already seeping into the mental culture aspect of it. Leaving Babylon says, let me see, bells are good frequency, and that's what they're using.
Yeah.
Bells. Oh yeah. Funny you speak of bells.
Ding.
Wait, is this Sam?
Oh man, you can't dox them their first time out. Shoot.
No, I know a lot of them, but he doesn't hide his identity.
No, I'm just joking.
Because before it was escaping Babylon, and now it's leaving. Oh, it says I'm Madeline. But
Hi,
Madelon,
Madeline.
Madelon. Yeah, I've been looking into the whole bells thing, and actually, it's part of the reason I want to get someone on that's Christian and talk about Tartaria and stuff, because there was a, during the time of, the firefighters are passing by here.
Uh-oh, they found you.
Yeah, dude, that's it. I'm getting taken, dude. But there was a whole thing about bells and having a
Like a trigger?
no, they were used a lot for healing. So there was like a whole
Oh, sorry.
campaign to take bells away from everywhere, because they were used like as a holistic medicine. I know we've talked about frequency with Laura Sanger and even Kenny C before. There's something to do with frequency for sure that's even biblical in nature, because um we all remember the story of David kind of bringing peace to Saul, right? Was it King Saul?
Through music, yeah.
Through music, and alleviating his demonic possession just by using frequency music, right? So there's something to it for sure, man. And now I work in the county of Riverside, and that county has an absolute obsession with bells. The city itself has bells everywhere, right? And I've never seen someone so obsessed with the city symbol. And I've lived in many different kinds of cities. I've driven so many cities, and I know there's city symbols. But when you start a business, they give you a little bell. When you do whatever it is, like if you win some sort of award, you get a bell. It's like bells, nonstop. And there is so many old churches, and you can tell some of those buildings are buried, where like the top that you see isn't the building that used to be there. It's like only half of the building, you know what I'm saying? And they just kind of built new Riverside on top, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really just reminds me of kind of the mud flood stuff. But anyways, anything else before we move on to I think the last one?
I'll switch to the last one.
Cool.
Leaving Babylon did have another comment. I don't know if you want to read that while I'm setting this up.
I'm available to chat. God spoke frequency creation too. Yeah. I think that's what people are watching when they talk about in science, that everything has its own frequency and things like that. I believe that they're seeing the voice of God, kind of, through everything, But go ahead.
All right, so I have here, and I just want to do a little shout out to archive.is. It's great to keep get the link to the article through the archive.is site, because then it stamps it. So this was published October 15th, 2024. And you can see this is from the Telegraph, but it's archive.is, so that even if they change it on the website, it's still here. All right. So anyway, just a little pro tip for doing your
you mentioned that once, because we brought up how the CDC had a whole page dedicated to how to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Yes, and it was gone. You had to go to the archives to find it. Yeah, so
and
this
then
is really valuable. Yeah,
they took it out, and then they were saying it was a conspiracy after, or that it was a joke. But none of the original post on their website said this is just a joke or for entertainment purposes. And you can find it on websites like this, like Archive.
yeah. So for any of you who find something you think is really important, save it in some way, PDF it, something. Archive IS is great. Anyway, so then you can get to it later. But this is from the 15th. I loved this, and I sent this to Chuck because like this is the biggest like collision of different like topical things, viral things happening at this moment. It's just like worlds colliding, right? So headline, this is from the Telegraph, says how raw milk could convince the Amish to put Trump back in the White House. It's like, this is the best. This is absolutely the best. The sub headline here, it says it's not inconceivable that thousands of Amish voters could turn Pennsylvania red, and one man is on a mission to make it happen. And who that one man is brings in this whole other element, which I think is just makes this story hilarious.
Okay.
But who you're seeing in the picture, if you're watching the stream or watching this later, is Scott Pressler. Scott Pressler is a 6'5" tall, as they describe him here, giant of a man, lustrous hair falling on great waves down to his waist, and wearing runners, which I assume are like tennis shoes type deals. Runner shorts, showing off his long tan legs. I love it. It's like, why are you putting this here? Tan legs, and appears to be wearing a smidgen of makeup. The flamboyant one-time chairman of Gays for Trump has given himself a new task to persuade Pennsylvania's 80,000 strong, straight-laced Amish community to vote for Donald Trump. I just thought this was the most amazing, like, dog pile of viral things that you could throw into one article.
Whoever wrote this, is it Robert Mendick, chief reporter?
Robert Mendick.
He's the one that wrote it?
Yeah, he wrote it. He's in
that dude has a crush on Scott Pressler, bro. That's the only explanation for that, dude.
It's the only explanation for this
like,
article.
why would you why even bother with all of those details when the importance of this has nothing to do with that? I mean, if you see the thing, he kind of gives me that trans guy. There used to be a
Mulvaney.
A little bit, but no.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about him too, but he gives me the vibes of the Olympian.
The Olympian. I know exactly what you're talking about. Why can't I think of it?
Just wipe from our memories, dude.
Bruce Jenner.
There you go.
Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, give me some
a little bit of that. The reason to really hype that up is how crazy it is that this individual is the one going to the Amish who are so straight-laced conservative, they don't use zippers. That's the level of conservatism the Amish love to display. That he is the one going out there and actually getting them registered to vote. This is absolutely brilliant. If you aren't on the pulse of the farming community, the food industry, all that kind of stuff, there is like a mini war on raw milk right now, which I need to go ahead and state. I'm a raw milk addict. I love raw milk. I go to the dairy every week. In fact, that's sometimes when I get to talk to Chuck, I'll give him a call because I got to drive way out and get this milk, but then I lose cell service. But we go out, we get the raw milk, and I'm semi-addicted to the raw milk. It's delicious. It's good for me. It's got good stuff. My kids love it. And but people are saying that it's dangerous, and I don't want to go off on a tangent. It's not. Your raw chopped salads are more dangerous than raw milk. But all that to say, there is specific legislation that was targeting raw milk that was present in Pennsylvania. This sort of witch hunt against raw milk is hitting the Amish community, because the Amish are the ones who are going to the farmers markets and selling all of this stuff. So it's directly impacted them in really a pretty big way. And Leaving Babylon makes a good observation, which is the other point of this article. Leaving Babylon says, I didn't even think the Amish voted. That is absolutely true. That's why you have Scott Pressler going out to Amish country in Pennsylvania, a swing state, to get them to vote, that they're actually fired up enough over this raw milk thing to actually go out and to go vote, if you can believe it.
Mhm. This, I think, is, if it's real and not some sort of ploy, which I think it is, but if it was just like real, it's just like, let's just say there was no agenda other than this gay guy. It was just inspired to do this. It's as bad as like people on the left saying, like anyone from the LGBTQ community going, "Oh no, they would love me over there in the Middle East and in these countries where they're just like, oh, I'm fighting for their peace." Like, dude, they don't want you on your side. You're over there convinced, trying to fight for like, uh, the rights of human beings over there, but they will stone you on sight. So stop.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Pressler, if you know anything about Scott Pressler, he is like, I think it was the last election. He got all fired up. He's passionate about getting people to understand what's going on and to get them registered to vote. That's his big push. That's what he does. I think he was even asked to speak at the Republican convention. Like, he's made a name for himself being that big of an advocate. And I'm pretty sure he's, at least he started out as just an independent guy, not independent politically, but just non-affiliated guy going out and doing these things to get people to register to vote. I wouldn't put it past him to say, this is the strategy. This is where we go. This is a completely untapped voter block that still has potential that no one is talking to. And I wouldn't put it past his brilliant mind to go out there and just get people registered, because he himself has registered, if not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to get them to vote. So that's, I think what's funny is yes, he is, openly homosexual and what is it? What was the organization that said gays for Trump? I can't remember. But this Amish for Trump, I don't think anyone saw this thing coming, because it's who's going and doing that, right?
I don't know, man.
So,
Even though it's not really related to this article, it was reminding me of why a lot of famous people are becoming Christian, and those Christian people are supporting Trump. I just feel like the timing was interesting for them to be publicly Christians, getting baptized and all that stuff, and all the Christians jumping on board on their podcast, like we've mentioned before. And then they're like, well, we don't lean right, but voting Trump is the better option, or they're very outspoken in saying, if you don't vote for Trump, come on, man. And these are people that have been very public as of late, becoming Christian. And that's kind of more the thing that concerns me, where they're really just tying Christians to Trump, where it's like, if you have to vote for this guy, like you have to, because you're Christian. And there's more of that Christian nationalism, which is kind of shrouded in a lot of evil. But because we're called to be Christian aside from the nation, not with the nation. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I think this is
kingdom politics. Kingdom politics is way higher than any nation's politics. Way higher.
And this is something we've talked about back and forth. We're not quite ready to do the show on that. I do think it would be important to do the show probably before the election, just to kind of talk about specifically that concept of Christian nationalism, because we've never come out as an advocate for any of those specific sorts of things, and there's a reason why, and I'd like to someday really get into the reasons why. And we're not stating this because we're like, yay, Pennsylvania's going to flip. What I'm saying is, it's kind of a historic thing that the Amish would come out and vote. And so you can see it, but what's the reason? It's not because of geopolitics. It's not because of the border situation. It's specifically because they are trying to sell raw milk. So if you look at this here, it says, for decades, the Amish have largely declined to vote. One farmer told me they prefer to put their faith in God. That's a quote. It said, but this time around may just be different. Angered if the Amish could ever get angry, which is funny. These things keep thrown in there, but I mean, they're never going to go online and read this. It says by a raid by state authorities on local farmers selling raw milk, the community appears to be stirring. So all you want to say about all these massive things they put out there, like we're not talking all of these different things that they would normally put on the news. Something that hits them directly at home, something that they that's part of their industry, it's something part of their doing, is drive them to go out and do what they feel like they can, which is to go vote. And honestly, I don't think they would have done this if people hadn't gone into the community and made that connection for them.
Well, the thing is that if you're in the red pill world, the red pill as of today kind of makes you get into the world of like holistic medicine, and then a lot of it's kind of right leaning in a sense. And so I can see how they're manipulating this to inspire Amish to vote that way, because people on the right are the ones that are buying raw milk, are the ones that are buying all this stuff, because they're more conservative. They're more in the conservative world. So I feel like it's just a tool to pigeonhole them, to be like, this is good for your economy, dude. You have to vote for Trump so that you can continue to sell your raw products, raw dairy, raw butter and everything that they sell to survive, which is growing so much in this kind of community of the red pillars, quote unquote. So I can see how this stuff can be sort of manipulated to make them feel that they have to in order to keep their economy alive.
Yeah. They tried to make this article about Pressler specifically and try to make it like it's sort of a like semi-soft hit piece on him, because they started talking about a bunch of things that they are accusing him of.
QAnon?
He's
really?
Yeah. Oh, he's part of the QAnon. He's helped organize the anti-Muslims. I mean, they're trying to make it about him. So it's like almost burying the lead within the article. It says he's a confidant of Laura Trump. Like that's supposed to trigger you if you're, depending on what side you're on. But just scrolling down a little bit here, he says, I even milked a cow at an Amish farm by hand, he says. An Amish farmer let me milk his cow. I was sitting on the smallest stool known to humanity.
I'm like, whoa, buddy, that's none of our business.
Who's someone who's 6'5" milking a cow amongst all the other cows. It shows you there's no secret to what we do. We show up, show your heart, ask for a vote, get them registered. I think that's why we're so successful. This right here is what they're afraid of. Mm-hmm. They're afraid of just humans interacting with humans, being genuine and getting a result. Mm-hmm. Whether you agree with it, whether you don't, that is what they're concerned with. The Amish are a group that will never be influenced by Facebook ads. They will never be influenced by a viral post or a headline or even a newspaper, but they will be influenced by someone who genuinely shows up with care, specifically on something that they care about. Mm-hmm. And that I think is one of the biggest parts of this is that interpersonal, you can't fake this sort of thing, and it's not easy and it's not quick. And the only reason why I point all those things out is you don't have to agree with one side or the other, but this is what really made it real for the Amish. And I just want to kind of spin this out. It's like, if you think there's something super important that people need to know, it's not going to be through your posts. That's not going to be the most effective. The most effective is going to be that really difficult road of interpersonal communication, one conversation at a time. There are people who say, I go to a church where everybody has blinders on and no one wants to talk about all these different things. It's like, well, how long have you been at it? I've been at it for years and years and years, more than a decade and a half. In the small community in the realm of influence that I have, just asking questions, just being genuine, showing that you're informed on other things, but not hitting people over the head with your Michael Heiser books. Mm-hmm. I now have people asking me for those books. Mm-hmm. I now have people asking me, what books do I read to be more informed on X, Y, and Z? We have people asking those important questions about spiritual things that they don't find other places except in scripture and good scholarship.
I like the term, you weren't out there clubbing baby seals. I like that term.
Yeah. You aren't clubbing baby seals. That's not going to influence anybody. Mm-hmm. No, that's not true. That will influence somebody, but probably not for what you want, right?
Yeah, man. Oh, this is a wild article, man. I can't believe this. I feel like I could be. Honestly, reading modern articles and things like that, I'm like, dude, I totally can be a reporter on stuff like this, dude. Like some of this stuff
Yeah.
is so ridiculous, bro.
Some of it's ridiculous, and honestly, a lot of it's really long. So what
Mm.
you want to do is start at the go all the way, maybe it's like 2/3 down, and start reading, and that's where they're going to have some of the good stuff.
Mhm.
Sometimes it'll counteract what they put in the headline or what they put earlier. But anyway, that's
Mhm.
something to think about as you're doing this. You know that it's a different person that writes the article than who writes the headline, right? There's actual headline editors, a completely different person
Right.
who reads it and then puts the headline in. So people who are only reading headlines, that's not it. That's not usually what is even emphasized in here. So you can see how long this is, just talking about all
Very
this
long.
different stuff. Yeah.
Very long. But anyways, well, that's interesting, man. Anything else about this you want to cover?
No, I took it off the screen.
Cool. Well,
We said what we could in the time we
I
had.
don't know
so.
what Fire Theft Radio or what page on Instagram. It says checkmark green. It's streaming somewhere. So I'll look after if it's streamed anywhere.
If anyone finds our stream somewhere, let us know.
Yeah, because right now all the viewers are all YouTube. Yeah, this is all YouTube. So anyways, all right. Well, I think that's all we got, folks. We are going to do more of these. Please subscribe on Rumble. I don't have like a, I think there's 2 followers there right now.
It showed 5 when I was on there.
Oh, okay. Well, the more the merrier, because we do want to mention a bunch of things that we can't on here. I like this background, by the way. It was the screen for, thumbs up. It was a screen. It was the art for one of our shows. And to me, it signifies obviously the Lord Jesus Christ penetrating black rock. And if you know anything about that, that's really cool. So I really like that. So there it is. Fire Theft Radio.
Looks like this.
Huh?
Said, yeah, it looks like this. You can see.
Yep.
You got your 5.
Yeah, just a little blue F, but I'll put the, some art and stuff like that. So this kind of stuff will be going over there. It didn't let me stream for some reason over there, but we'll figure that out next time we do this. And Leaving Babylon says, I always check your channel for new content. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. We have a small but faithful following. Every time we post anything, we get a few thousand downloads, across platform. And I see you guys. So if you are willing to help us out, or you want to help out in a different way, email us. We don't really have a lot of stuff where things are monetized, but we do have ways you can do so. If you don't like the Patreons and all that, people have figured out ways to help us out, and I will send you anything I have. I just sent over some to, I think it was West Virginia somewhere. I think I'm sending a ton of books over there, some keychains that we have, signed copies of different people that have been on our show. So you can go find us over there, Spotify, the iTunes, Podomatic, I think even what's that other one, iHeartRadio, things like that. You can find us everywhere. Been subscribed for a while. God bless. Thank you so much. Let me see.
Yeah, if you want to support the show, easiest way to do it is just go follow us on these different platforms, because there's always some sort of you have to be this tall to ride this ride. So we either need 500 followers or 1,000 followers or whatever else, and we're trying to build that up so we can actually engage with everybody on these different platforms. So that's free, just jump in, hit subscribe or hit follow, whatever the contextual button says, and help us out that way.
Well, that's all we got for you today. You can find us at Fire Theft Radio, all those ones I just mentioned, but Instagram and Facebook. And then if you want to email us, you can email us at firetheftradio@gmail.com. Website is no longer up. We are up and running primarily through all the podcast platforms. Our lowest, we had a lot of content over there, but it just didn't work out. They kind of lied to me about how long I can keep a website open, and they just ended up shutting it down without telling me. So it was a whole thing, but it's okay. We saved it. We're everywhere else now, including this wonderful platform where we stream stuff. So all of this stuff is mostly funded by us, but sometimes it's funded by you guys. So thank you so much. And again, like all the stuff that I send out, I buy because some of you guys help me out, like the books that are signed by these authors that have been on the show, things like that. So, there's a lot of things going on over here that we try to help out our listeners in some sort of way. And if you'd like, we'll always give you a shout out, send us prayer requests, whatever you'd like. We're here for you. Ask us questions. And we're more than available. If you want to speak to Mav, you can find him Maverick Pilgrim over there on YouTube, and different things like that. So there's always ways to get a hold of us. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's all we got. Don't forget to spread the fire. Later, folks.
Later, everybody. Just gotta wait for the outro music,
Ooh, they're gonna accuse me of being initiated now.
Oh, little hearts going. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.